Hi guys, my name is... Sorry for the mic if it makes some noise. I won't try to touch it. So, hi guys, my name is Lynn. I'm 22 years old. I am from Belgium. I recently moved to Valencia in Spain and now I'm living here. This is gonna be a really calm video because it is pretty late here. And after this video, I'm going to go to bed. So that's why it's gonna be a calm video. Also, something to admit, I have not written any script for this video. So this will be a bit of improvisation and talking about the ideas that comes to my mind. And yeah, also this video is gonna be minimally or not even edited. So this is just gonna be a really calm talking video. So I hope you like it. And also I do it on purpose. I don't want to edit this video a lot because this way it will give you less dopamine, as the most videos on YouTube are filled with dopamine because of the editing. So yeah, I don't want this video to be like that. So let's dive into the video. So in this video, I want to talk about how to make friends or how to make people like you, how to make meaningful connections with people you are interested in. And yes, a lot of my advice will be based on the information that's written in the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but yeah, that's the author. So a few years ago, I read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Sorry for my I'm so tired. Okay, a few years ago, I read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and literally, I must admit, it changed my life for the better. It changed how I interact with people. It changed how I communicate, and I think it has literally changed almost every conversation I've had over the past few years, in a positive way, of course. So the first thing I want you to know is, if you want someone to like you, be interested and not interesting. So people think that if they want someone to like them, they have to be the most interesting person with a lot of talents and a lot of things to say and to show. But that's you will like to do that. But for the other person, it's actually not that nice. What makes us feel special is the feeling that we have talent and that we're better than anyone, or that we have more knowledge in some way than anyone else, or than someone else. So what can you do to make someone like you is to admire the person and to give them attention, to be genuinely interested in their skills and what they have to say, in their opinion. Be genuinely interested. Also, this is also really important. If you're not at all interested in what the person is saying or like their interests, also don't try to fake your interest in this person, because they will feel. So show a lot of interests only if you're really interested. Don't do this if you're not interested at all. So what I want you to know is that people love attention. We're all animals and we all have been children. We're actually still children. We were the same person. And what do children like? They like attention. They like people who give them attention and who are enthusiastic with them. So every person on earth loves attention from other people. So how can you put this into practice? How can you give someone more attention? I have some advice for you, some practical advice. So the first thing you could do is remember people's name. This is so important. The first time you meet someone and they tell you their name, try to remember it, try to link it with some characteristic of theirs. For example, this is a funny example, but I once met a girl who was named Katerina. So I tried to link it as fast as possible. I just imagined her having a cat. And now when I think of Katerina, I always think of her with a cat. So those links or those connections really work for me. So this might also work for you. But why is it important to remember people's names? Well, imagine meeting a person, and you tell them your name, and then the second time when they meet you, they're like, "Oh, what's your name again?" And it kind of makes you feel like you're not important for them, like you were not even that important for them, and that's why they forgot your name. So try to remember people's name, super important. Now, the second piece of advice I want you to give is listen. During conversations, and I see this a lot in my environment, like the people I'm surrounded with, they like to talk, and many of them don't really like to listen, or they listen but not carefully. They listen while they think about what they can say next. But when you listen to someone, try to listen 100%. Try to be with their words 100% without thinking about what can I say that's interesting next when this person is done. Or sometimes people don't even wait until you're done talking. Sometimes they interrupt. That's also something you should never do. But that's for later. First, listen. So if someone's talking about their life, for example, if someone talks about the recipes they like to cook. So if someone talks about how much they love cooking, listen. And what's also really important is ask questions. Because that way the person will feel like they're really interested, and that way the person will feel like you're really interested and like you're also really listening. If you ask relevant questions, they will feel like, wow, this person is so interested in me. I feel so special because this person, finally someone is interested in me. And the fact that you can give this person the feeling that this person is special makes this person like you more, because this person gets a certain feeling from being with you, and they will link this feeling with you, of course. So what I do during conversation, I've always been a listener. I've never been like a big talker. But before reading the book, I sometimes felt guilty about it, that like I'd never had a lot to say when I was with people. And sometimes I felt bad about it, like, oh, I should talk more, because this way I'm not really interesting for people. But now I'm actually pretty comfortable being the listener, because I know that this is actually good. This is good to make meaningful connections, to make people like you, to make friends in general. So don't be scared to be silent and just listen to what the person has to tell you. And also, of course, ask questions. But this is also a warning. Like this can also be a little bit dangerous, because it might turn into an interview, or like the person who is talking might feel like this is an interview. So don't ask too many questions. If sometimes you want to tell something, if sometimes you want to tell a story, just go for it, of course. You should also talk, of course. But if this person wants to talk a lot, let them talk. And see the magic happen. All right. So, we've had remembering names, listening, and asking questions. Now, what is next? There are some other pieces of advice I can give you, of course. And one of them is make eye contact. Of course, we all know eye contact is important. But if you make a little longer eye contact than would be normal, people will think that you like them. So this is something I try to do. For example, when I buy food and I say thanks to the person. How do you say that in English? Wait, I'm gonna look it up. Wait, give me seconds. Yeah, okay, so the cashier, I hope that's pronounced correctly. So I did this experiment with the cashier in the grocery store where I bought my food today. And she told me, okay, that's, I don't know, 16 euros, 50. I gave her the money and I made eye contact and I said, thank you so much. And then, she smiled back at me because I was smiling. I was looking her into the eyes a little longer than should be, than normal. And then she smiled back at me and I felt that she felt like something was going on, but it was a positive connection. So yeah, that's my third piece of advice. Make eye contact as much as possible. Or not, like, no, of course, not as much as possible, but a little bit more than you're used to. And another piece of advice I want to give you is smile more. Because I have experiences talking to people who look angry at you, even though you know they're not angry, they're just concentrated on the words you're saying. Like they might frown or like, look like this. And for me, that's not really encouraging because it makes me feel slightly insecure about what I'm saying. And for me, it would be actually nicer to talk to someone who is smiling at me, like slightly smiling and making eye contact. So that's something I do with people. Whenever they tell me something neutral or something positive, of course, if they're talking about something negative, I'm not gonna smile at them. But in general, I try to smile to people when they're talking to me. Because that creates a welcoming environment for them and they will feel like it's a safe space to talk about what they want to talk. And so yeah, those 4 tricks during conversation have literally changed my life. Before, I was super insecure. I just didn't know how to act in conversations. I tried many things, but it was hard. But now I feel like the connections and friendships I have are so stable because with these 4 tricks, you're also not really giving a toxic vibe during conversations. So that's also really important to just show the people that you're not toxic and that you're a stable person who communicates well. And this has literally helped me create so many stable connections with people, so many meaningful friendships that I wasn't able to build before. And this is also how you maintain friendships. You keep on doing those 4 pieces of advice that I gave you, even though it feels like, oh yeah, I know this person for so many years, let's just behave normally. No, because when you behave normally, people are not going to feel the way you made them feel before. So you might also say like, oh, this is unnatural behavior, you need to be yourself. But in my opinion, you're still yourself, even though if you use these tricks, you'll always be yourself, but you'll just be a better communicator this way. So it has changed my life, and I hope it will also change yours. I hope at least someone was helped thanks to this video. To be honest, I'm also pretty proud of myself that I was able to shoot this video without having a script. And I'm also gonna edit this video in a minimal way, or maybe not even edit this video, we'll see. Because as I said at the beginning of the video, I am still pretty shy to talk in front of a camera. Before, I used to be super shy socially. I still am sometimes. So this for me is a big challenge. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you made it till the end of this video, leave a heart like this in the comments. And then I know you resisted the challenge or you made it until the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.